We begin with the part 1, that is the MCQ part for the grade 9 advanced exam questions. Please note I will be doing the shortcut methods, the calculator methods, because you will already be having the options with you. So the easiest way to get the answers will be done in these videos. The first question is to solve systems of equations. Here we will solve all these problems easily using calculator. All you need to do is press mod phi, and the first option gives you simultaneous equations to solve two equations. And press 1 over here, the first option. And now you need to put in the coefficient of x, then the coefficient of y, and then the constant term. If you press the mod phi and before pressing 1, you can see that the standard form is given. It is ax plus by plus c. That c is constant. A is the coefficient of x and b is the coefficient of y. So we'll press 1 and now just type the numbers before the x and y. There is nothing, so it's 1. If there is nothing, it's just 1. And even for y, it's 1. And the constant is the c term. It must be at the right side of equal to, that is 2. Same thing for the next one. It's minus 3, 4, and 15. And here you get the answer, minus 1 and 3. That's the answers. You can solve any problem over here. Let's do the sixth one. All you need to do is, if you're not in this mode already, press mod phi 1 and type in the coefficients 3. Don't forget the signs. It's minus 3 and minus 6. And then we have minus 5, 6, and lastly we have 12. And the answers are 0 and 2. That's how we solve them easily. Please do solve the others. If you want, the detailed explanation is also available over here. And please do solve these as well and then check the answers. So these are the answers. And that's it. The first one is a very easy one. Just use calculator, mod phi 1, and put in the coefficients and solve it easily. The second question is to find the measure of line segments. It is another easy and simple topic. Here you have been told to find the value of the variable of yz if y is in between x and z. That's a crooked line, but anyways, x and z over here and y is somewhere in between. Okay, I'll just put a random point. I don't know exactly the measures over here, but randomly this is what it looks like. Now x and y is given as 11, y and z is given as 4c, and the total distance is given as 83. Now how do you find the variable and the dimension y and z? So to find yz, it's very simple. Just do 83 minus 11. That's your answer. It will be 73 minus 1, 72. Because the total minus this part gives you the remaining part. That's it. Now to find 4c, once you find 72, it is very simple. 4c will be equal to 72. Otherwise, you can also do it by 11 plus 4c will be equal to 83. You will get the same answer. Divide both the sides by 4. We know this is 20 minus 2. It will be, c will be 18. That's the answer. Use your calculators to solve it. It's very straightforward. 18 and 72 is the answers. Same way, try these problems by yourselves. I'll just do one more over here. Same situation. We have the total length of 175. That's the total. And we have been told here x and y. This is y, x and z. 6b and 8b. Here what you need to do is, the best way would be add 6b plus 8b will be equal to 175. Now we can easily find the value of b. 8 plus 6 would be 14b, that is equal to 175. Now just divide 175 by 14 and then solve it, and then substitute over here the b value and solve for whichever you need. If it's yz, 8 into 175 by 14. So that's the answer. It's 12.5 here, and then it'll be 100. Please do the remaining problems by yourselves. It's just that you need to know which is the midpoint. Y is in between, so xy plus yz. 7a plus 5a would be the total distance. That is this over here. Once you find the variable, find the length as well. Similarly, do the other problems by yourselves and then check for the answers. They're very straightforward. Oh, by the way, By the way, you can also try putting this equation directly in the calculator and it will give you the answer. I'll show you now. All you need to know is this variable can be typed in your calculator as x, that is alpha, and this closing bracket symbol gives you x, unknown variable x, plus 6 alpha x equals is given by alpha and calc, that is 12 alpha x minus 8, and shift and solve. If you press equal to, you're getting an error. Press shift and then solve, and now press equal to, the answer is 4. The variable answer is 4. Now 4 times, what is yz? It's 4 times, over here, sorry, we need to see 6 times 4. W times 6 will give you the answer. Please do the remaining problems by yourselves and then check for the answers. All the solutions are given over here. You can find this presentation in the description. Just click on that Telegram link and you can view the group and download these material with the solution. So that's it. Please do practice more problems. And if you have any doubts, post them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you very soon. The third question is similar to the first question, but here they are asked to solve linear equations by graphing. Since it is in the MCQ, if they have asked the graph, it's very easy in calculator. But if they're asking to solve the equations, it's the same method. But first we need to rearrange this to standard form. The standard form is given as ax plus bx plus equals c. Now how do we write this in this form? Here there is no x at all, so it is 0x basically, plus y equals minus 3. Very straightforward. But the next equation, you need to bring x and y together. So this x goes to the other side, it becomes minus x plus y equals minus 3. Now let's solve these equations out in the calculator. Again, let's go to mode, phi and 1. Let's type in the coefficients. It's 0, 1, and we have got minus 3. Here it is minus 1, 1, and again negative 3. And what is the answers? Here we are getting 0 and minus 3. So that is the solution. Now, if they have given the options as graphs, then fine. Just look over here which graph intersects at 0 and minus 3. Here, this is the graph. You will have plenty of graphs. See where is the solution at this particular point. So the best and the easy way would be solve these equations in the calculator directly and check for the graph. So mode phi 1, over here let's solve this one. Since 4x moves to the other side, it becomes minus 4, and then these two remains the same. It's 1, 1y, and equals to 2. Here minus 2x moves to the other side, right? Because we have to have x and y together. I just realized the standard form, I've written x over here. It's ax plus by. So here only this part moves. So what we write is minus 2x goes to the other side, becomes plus 2x, 2, 1, and lastly we have negative 4. And so the answer is negative 1 and 2, and you can see at minus 1 and 2, minus 2, sorry, this intersects over here. That's how we can easily solve it up. But what if the graph has no solution? Let's see. Okay, over here, this is one of the option. Here, let's solve it up. If we type this in, it'll be minus 1, 1, and minus 6. And then we have again, it's minus 1, 1, and 2. It gives, in this particular calculator, it gives me no solution. If you have the latest model, it'll directly tell you it's no solution. But what if your calculator gives you math error? Some calculators might give you a math error. You may not know you have no solutions or infinite solutions. So in that case, you need to write it in the slope-intercept form. That is a slope-intercept form. It's y is equal to mx plus b. So once you write it in the slope-intercept form, you can easily find out what is it. Now here, if you have this y coefficient same, 1 and 1, even the slope, m is the slope, this is also same, and only this y-intercept, b value, are different, then it is no solution. Why? Because now the slope is same over here. It's going to be a same line, but it touches at minus 6. That means this is the point. Here it's going to be a parallel line, but it'll pass through positive 2. So it'll never touch each other. They are parallel lines. Now let's see over here. First, let's solve that one. What do we have over here? 1, 1, 4, and then we have 3, 3, 12. Now here I will get infinite solution. Now again in your calculator you may not get infinite solution, you might have math error. So in such case, first thing is try to simplify this before getting into the slope intercept form. Now looking at this, I can see x, x, y, y, 4, 12. There's something common. So what you do is look at one of the variables. I'll just choose x over here. Try to make these two equal. So what I would do is generally, I would simplify the below equation. Try to get it in the simplest form. That would mean if I just divide this by 3, I'll get x. But you can't just divide at one part, you have to divide throughout by 3. What do you get? You'll get x plus y equals 4. In fact, we're getting just the above equation, so it's the same line. Both the equations will fall upon the same line, so each and every point is a solution, so we have infinite solutions for this case. And the graph will just be the single line. It's the same line. That's how we do it. So all of these can be easily solved in calculator and then check for. Over here also we have infinite solutions. Now, how would you solve this one is, just try to make this and this equal. So multiply this by -1 throughout. It'll be positive x minus y equals -2. So it is just the above equation. And this one as well, put it in the calculator, solve it up. Now this has a solution. This is the solution point. That's it. It's another very simple topic. Just use the calculator and solve it easily. In this video, we will learn how to find the distance between 2 points on the coordinate plane. Here we have a coordinate plane and the points are given. The x-axis is the first value always, x and y. The second one is the y value. Same way over here. Now, the distance can be found by using any point as the first point and the next as the second point. I can consider this as x1, y1, this as x2, y2, or the other way around. It doesn't matter because you're squaring it. Doesn't matter if it's negative, it will be made positive. The formula is important. The distance formula is given as square root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Even over here, I can write it as x1 minus x2 the whole square. It doesn't make any difference. The answer will be the same. So since this is in the question number 4, it's just a MCQ. So directly use it in the calculator and let's solve. Here I've just typed this as it is in the calculator. The x2 value over here is -1 minus x1 is just 5 the whole square plus -1 minus 7 the whole square. Use the brackets properly and the answer is 10. That's it. That'll be your answer. You don't need to write anything in detail. Just put it in the calculator and solve it up. Now over here they have taken the x1 values as 5 and -1 as y1 and the other thing. They've just swapped this and still you get the same answer. See, x2 is 5 minus -1. Now please remember, use the brackets properly when the term is also negative. See, minus of -1 the whole square plus 7 minus of -1 the whole square. Just put in the calculator. Similarly, please do the other problems by yourselves. Just the formula is something you need to remember. The formula is square root x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Remember, if you consider this as x1, the next term must be y1 as well. You can choose anyone as x1. Now, if I take this x1, this has to be y1. Then the other one will be x2, y2. And that's how we can solve them up. And over here, they have just given you coordinate points, which is still easier. There, you have to just take x1, y1, x2, y2. Or you can take other way around. That's fine. Substitute, put in the formula, and solve the answers. So answers are very straightforward. In your question, generally they'll ask you to round off to a certain number, say nearest 10th. 10th means there'll be one digit after the decimal. If they have not mentioned that, then look into the options. Every option will be rounded off to the same digits. So choose the correct answer. Very easy topic. Remember the formula and solve these problems directly in the calculator. In this video, we will analyze figures and understand the characteristics of the angles. There are many angles formed, say adjacent angles, vertical angles, linear pairs. Now, what exactly are they? Adjacent angles will always have a common vertex. I'll just take this one. Now this T must be common for both. And they will have a common line as well. See, this line is common. But they will not be having both the lines common. Only one line common. And these two angles are adjacent to each other. Now an interior point in this angle will not be on this one as well. See, the points are different, right? So these are basically the adjacent angles. Now here, UTR and RTP are adjacent angles. Now over here they have told the same thing but with MQN and NQR. So they have mentioned over here these angles, this also adjacent. It's just a sample answer. Now there are so many adjacent angles over here. If I take this whole and this one. Now this, all these are adjacent angles. What about the vertical angles? Vertical angles have two intersecting lines but they are not adjacent, they are opposite. See, vertically opposite, right? Now this is also vertical angles but they cannot be adjacent. These adjacent angles are linear pace, they'll add up to 180 degrees, whereas vertical angles are something like this. They are non-adjacent angles and they are equal to each other. So that is over here there are plenty of vertical angles. You can tell MQN and SQR. Over here they have mentioned SRQ and TRP. This is also vertical angles. Now find the measure of S, U and V. Now they have not given the measure of this angle but they have given the other one. This is a linear pair because they are on a straight line. So when you add up SUV, angle SUV, plus this other angle that is SUT, that is 58 degrees, it must be 180 degrees. Now you can easily solve it, right, by taking 58 to the other side, subtract it from 180. It will be 122 degrees. So that is the answer, it's 122 degrees. And now here we have again vertical angles, this and this, they are equal to each other. So you just have to put it in the calculator and you can solve it up. I'll show you how to do it in the calculator directly. In the calculator, type it as it is, 120, and how do you type equal is alpha and calc. Now this is equal to 2 alpha x minus 10. And press shift and solve. You get the answer. This is not the answer. Shift and solve and then equal to, the answer is 65 here. Same thing can be done over here, but I have typed out the equation of linear pace, that is 2x plus 4x plus 108 equals 180 degrees. Now press shift and solve and then press equal to. This is the previous stored answer. Now when you press equal to, you'll get the answer. So the x is 12 here. And similarly over here you can equate these both and you can find the x value first and then find the angle and then you find the y value. I'll just solve this up. If you want to manually solve it, you need to equate the vertically opposite angles, vertical angles. 2x plus 25 equals 3x minus 10. 10 goes to the other side and 2x to the other side. Here, whichever is having a smaller coefficient, the variable having the smaller coefficient moves to the other side. So it will be 25, 10 to the other side will be plus 10 equals 3x minus 2x. Now when we solve this, it will be 35 equals x. So x is 35. Now let's find the angle over here. It will be 3 times 35 minus 10. You can put it in the calculator and solve it. This will be 70 plus 105 minus 10. This is 95 degrees. So if this is 95, the remaining one can be easily solved by 180 minus 95. That is 85. So this is 85 degrees. You have to find x, that is 35, and y is 85. But in order to find y, you have to solve this angle over here. And then because these both are linear pace, you easily find the y angle. That's how we do this problem. That's the end of this topic. Just be careful which is what type of angles. There are adjacent angles, vertical angles, linear pace. Just be careful with each of them. And then this is a very easy topic. In this video, we will learn how to calculate surface areas and volumes of three-dimensional objects. Here there are a set of formulas which you must remember. Now here, these are the formulas for surface areas. S means surface area and V is the volume. Now H is the height. What about P? P is the perimeter of the base. If this is a rectangular prism, that's the perimeter of the rectangular base. Here, if it's a right regular pyramid, it's the perimeter of this square base. So that's the thing. And L is the slant height. It's not the vertical height. H is the vertical height. L is the slant height. R is the radius. And over here, H is the vertical height. L is slant height. We will look into a problem. The model of a roof is the shape of a square pyramid as shown. If the surface area of the model is 64 centimeters square, what is the slant height? Now look over here, they're not asking for surface area or volume, they're asking for the slant height. If you recall the formula, surface area formula is half PL plus B. Volume is 1/3 base into height. Here we cannot use the volume because they have given the surface area and we need L, right? We just use the first formula. So using that formula, let's substitute what all we know already. We know S value. I'll just write the formula over here, PL plus P. S value is known, that is S over here. Now, this one is unknown. See, this is unknown. Here, what we know is only the side and the slant height is unknown. We don't know the height, but we do not require the height. Only for the volume, the height is required. That's fine. So, if this side is phi, it's a square base, so all is phi. Now, we will find the perimeter P, that will be 4 times phi, that is 20. And we need also B, right? B is the area of the base. Area of the base is 5 square, that is 25. We have all the required values here. Only L is unknown. We will substitute. S is 64. Half times P value is 20. L is the unknown value. Plus B is 25. Now we can put this in the calculator, directly get the answer. Or you can just simplify here. It's 10. And over here, take this to the other side. 64 minus 25 equals 10L. 25 would be 40 minus 1, 39 equals 10L. Or you can just divide both the sides by 10. It will be 3.9 equals L. So the length, the slant height, is 3.9 centimeters because the units is in centimeters. Remember, this is in centimeters. That's how we solve it. Now, we do not need to use the volume. Why? Because they have not asked for the volume, only the slant height. So that's the answer. And over here we have another similar problem. A candle is in the shape of a pyramid. The volume of a candle is 27 cubic centimeters and its height is 6 centimeters. Find the area of the base of the candle. Now here, if you recall, we have volume as V equals 1/3 base into height. B is the area of the base. So basically you know everything else, substitute it. It's very direct substitution. Substitute all the values you know, 27, H is 6, and you will get the base of the area of the base. Over here we have a cone. Looking at this, we can understand it's a cone. We know the height is given as 6 and they have also given the volume. You should remember the formula and easily solve. Over here they're asking for what? The radius. You can see this is a circle and the radius is unknown. Substitute all that is known because everything is given. Volume is given. Nothing else is required and height is given. Only radius is missing, one variable. Solve it up, you will get the answer. Now please remember the formulas and then look into the shape. You should not only by heart the formulas, you should know which shape it is, which formula. And then you can easily solve this up. In this video, we will identify points, lines and planes. Here we have been given two planes and some set of questions. Let's say name the lines that are only in plane Q. So this is plane R and this is plane Q. So which are the lines over here? Line N and line Q. Those are the ones. How many planes are labeled over here? There are two planes, right? R and Q. So that are the answers. There are two planes over here. And name the plane containing the lines M and T. So over here you can see this is M and this is T. The plane is plane R over here. And name the intersection of lines of M and T. Where do these two lines intersect? At the point C. So that is the answer. And these two are in plane R. Name a point that is not coplanar with point ABC. Coplanar means it must be in the same plane. Now, these all points over here ABC are in this plane. Non-coplanar would be in another plane. So I can't choose D and M because they are not exactly in the plane, they are in between. Let's say this is in between, this is above. Whereas I can see the point P is in the plane Q. So I would choose point P over here. And RFMGP coplanar, F, where is it over here? MG, no, they're not coplanar because they need to be in the same plane. Now over here, this is in one plane R, and P is in plane Q, and this is in between the other two planes. So no, this answer is no. And does the line N and Q intersect? Do they intersect? Now they don't look like they intersect over here. They will not intersect in this plane, but can you see this? It goes infinitely long, isn't it? So if I extend them, yes, they'll intersect somewhere over here. Okay, so yes, they do intersect, but only when they're extended. If they ask you the question, do they intersect in this plane? No, they do not. But they have not mentioned anything about the plane, so yes, they will intersect. Answer is yes, but only when extended. Very easy and simple topic. Just try to understand what are points, lines, and planes, and you can easily answer them all. In this video, we will learn how to solve systems of equations. Here you can see there are plenty of equations given. Now, first of all, you have to get these equations in the standard form. Why? Because we will just use the shortcut method in calculator and solve these up. The standard form is given as ax plus by equals c. So x and y terms must be together and the constant will be separately at the right. So here in the first question, you can see 4x plus y equals 10. It's in the standard form. Even over here, 2x plus y equals 17, standard form. But this one is in the slope intercept. Y is equal to mx plus b. We do not want this form. We want only the standard form. So here you need to rearrange this. Move this 4x to the other side. What happens is minus 4x plus y, then only 4x becomes minus 4x, then we have y equals, only 5 will remain. This is the two equations. What about over here? You can do it by yourselves. 5 moves to the other side, will be minus 5x plus y equals 1. Now here also we need to move this to the other side. Once you understand this method, you can directly in your mind understand the coefficient over here is minus 3 when it goes to the other side. So that's the thing. And now we will use our calculators and solve this problems. You need to press mode, and now you can see this, these are equations. So press 5 for equations, and now let's compare. Is this cubic or quadratic in the sense power 3 or power 2? No. So it cannot be option 3 or 4. It can be either option 2 or 1. But do we have a z term, z term? No. So it has to be option 1. So let's go over here and type in the coefficients. Now I will type this one, second one over here. 2 and then equal to, then 1 and equal to, and 17. Remember the coefficients of x. You don't type x, just the coefficient, minus 4. What is the coefficient of y? If nothing is there, it's 1. And lastly, whatever is right side of the equal to, that is 5. That's the answers. Here the answer is 2 and 13. You can see here 2 and 13 is the solution. Same way over here, you can do it by yourselves. Let's do this one over here. 3, you just have to type 3, 4 and minus 3, 1, 2 and minus 1. If you miss out the sign, you will get an error. The x value is minus 1 and y value is 0, as you can see. Now for this one, imagine the question 3. You don't need to write this out in the standard form because it's direct options, right? So what you do is directly write the coefficient. It's minus 3 because it moves to the other side. The x value moves to the other side. Y is 1 and minus 34 is the constant. Here it will be minus 2, 1 and lastly we have minus 5. The answers are 29 and 53. Here a detailed method of a problem is given. You can do this as well. It is simple and then you'll get the answer. But I would suggest you the calculator method because it is question number 8. Now try these all and then continue watching the video. If you have tried solving the first problem here, the question number 7, some of you might have got infinite solution and some of you a math error. So let me type this out. Over here it will be 3. The first term will be 3. And then 1 and 4, minus 6, minus 2 and minus 8. The answer is infinite solution. So you can write this infinitely many in the sense there are infinite solution. Every point is a solution. I'll come to this in a while. But what if you got a math error? Because many of you might have got a math error. Because only in the latest model of calculator you will get this directly. Otherwise, it will be a math error. Now, what do we do if we get math error? So in that case, first write both the equations in the standard form. What I mean is you need to rearrange this and write it out. I'll write it over here. Minus becomes plus when it goes to the other side. Plus 3x plus y equals 4. Minus 6x minus 2y equals minus 8. This is the thing. Here your goal is to solve only the first variable. Make those coefficients equal. If over here I have minus 6, get this also as minus 6. If you want, you can make this as 3. But that will involve dividing. See, if you want to make something smaller from minus 6 to 3, you have to divide this by minus 3. But the easier way would be multiplying, isn't it? I'll just multiply this by minus 2. What happens? If I do 3 times unknown value, I should get minus 6. It is minus 2. 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. So let me multiply throughout each term by minus 2. What will happen? I'll get minus 6x minus 2y equals minus 8. Now compare these two equations. Can you see they are the same equations? They are literally the same. This means when you graph them, you're getting the same equation. They're the same line. So every point is a solution. There are infinite solutions for this case. That's why we are getting infinite solution. So you need to simplify, solve that, say solve both the equations and check if they are equal. All these terms must be equal, then they are infinite solutions. So one more type is no solution. Let me solve this in the calculator. It will be 1 minus 1 because y is in the other side. I bring y inside and minus 1 here. Minus 1, 1, minus 1. There is no solution. Why is this happening? Now let us do the same thing. Write both in the standard form. I will get x minus y is equal to minus 1 and this is 1 more. Now compare what is same method what we just now did. Compare the one of the variable and make them equal. So what is missing? I have to just multiply by minus. So I have to multiply everything by minus 1. This is going to be minus x. I'll write it down over here. Minus x plus y equals 1. Now compare them. Minus 6, same. Y. But here, are these two numbers same? No, this is minus 1, this is 1. If at all, when you do the first variable equal and then you get this number different, that means they are parallel lines, because if you graph them, one line would be graphed something like this and the one more line, it would be somewhere down, but they have the same slope. They will never touch each other. So there is no solution because everything is same, but the y-intercept, the constant term is different. That is the case. So there are two types of problems here. If you get math error, if you're getting this no solution, infinite solution, it's fine, well and good, you can directly write it. Otherwise, if you get something like this, math error, then please do solve for the coefficients. Make one of the terms coefficients same, and then you can see whether the equations are equal. If they're equal, then it's infinitely many. But if all terms, x and y terms are same, but the numbers are different, then there is no solution. That is how we can do. Otherwise, you'll just get the answer. That is very easy. Just put in the answers. Same way, please do try them out by yourselves. All of these will give you the answer. Over here, let me quickly do it. It's infinite solution because if I simplify, see now I want to make this plus 10. So I just multiply throughout by minus 2. Over here, it'll be positive 10x minus 8y is equal to minus 40, which is equal to this. Therefore, this is having infinite solution because they are the same lines. That's how we easily solve this. Please do follow the calculator method. It will save you a lot of time. And because the options are given to you, easily you can choose the correct answer. The question number 9 is to solve systems of equations. We have just done the same thing in the previous question. That's question number 8. The only difference is that was by the method of substitution. Over here, it's the method of elimination. But if you're using the calculator method, all the questions can be solved in the same method. Let's take our calculators. You need to press mode, phi, and 1. Let me choose the first question. All you need to do is put in the coefficients. Here there is no coefficient, it's just a minus sign. So that means it is minus and 1. Because if there's no terms, it's just 1. And then W is just 1, 7, 1, 1, and 1. The answer is minus 3 and 4. We have done this in the last video. Please watch that. Please watch the question number 8 video because all the different type of problems were done over there. Try these by yourselves in the calculator and then check for the answers. A detailed method is also given, but since you have the options, you do not need to go through these. And over here, all the answers are available. Now, if at all you get math error, that will be either no solution or infinite solution. And to know that, how exactly to understand, please refer the previous video, that is question number 8. That's the end of this particular topic. If you have any doubts, please post them in the comments. In this video, we will learn how to find the missing values in line segments. Here we have a line segment, MO. The line MO is the entire line, but it's split over here in between at MN and NO. And it's congruent. Can you see this line? That means they are congruent. Now, how would you find the total length till MO? MN is given as 4.6, so this is also 4.6. Add them up, it'll be 9.2 centimeters. Same way we have to find WY. Here the total length WX is given as 8.8 mm. And how much is half of it? Say this total. These both are congruent, so half would be 4.4 millimeters or mm. That's how simple these problems are. And we will look into the next one. So the answers are same, 9.2. But you don't need to write it all. Directly choose the correct answer. That's it. Here now we need to find each segment. So over here they have asked us F and G. But they have told each of these segments are congruent. Can you see this line means they're congruent. All these line segments are congruent. So what you can do is you can directly count the number of segments 1, 2, 3, 4 and divide 16 by 8 by 4. It'll be 4.8 by 2 is 2. So this is the answer in centimeter. Otherwise, you know this is all equal. So consider this to be x, x, x and x. Add them all up. X plus x plus x plus x, that is 4 times x, will be equal to 16.8. Therefore, 4x is equal to 16.8 or x is equal to 4.2 centimeters. I hope this is clear. Another similar problem, but here they have told to find the length of Q to T. That means 1, 2, 3 segments only. This is x, x and x. But to find x, you need to basically add up all because that's the total length, right? So 14.4 will be equal to 4x. X will be just 14.4 divided by 4. Now you need to do this by yourself. It's over 3 less than 4. So once you get that, multiply that answer times 3. So whatever the answer you get, multiply it 3 times and that will be Q to T. So that is one way to do it. Over here, see, first you find x, that is 3.6 over here. This value, the total length 14.4 divided by 4 is 3.6. Multiply 3.6 times 3 and you will get the answer 10.8. That is from Q to T. Here they have told DE, measure of DE needs to be found out. But we know CD and DE are congruent. So just equate these both. 2x plus 7 is equal to 4 times x minus 3. Now what you do is, let's write the left side as it is. Let's use distributive property here. Multiply 4 inside the brackets. It becomes 4x minus 4 times 3 is 12. And now let's group the x together and the numbers together. I'll take the 12 to the other side. It becomes plus 12 plus 7 equals. This 2x goes to the other side. 4x minus 2x. 12 plus 7 is 19 equals 2x. Divide both the sides by 2. You will get 9.5 equals x. That is the answer. That's how we do this. It's okay. Now, my bad. I did x value, but did I do DE? No, I need to substitute it back. I can do any equation because both are congruent. I'll do both. See, you can substitute over here 2 times 9.5 plus 7. 2 times 9.5 is 19 plus 7. The answer is 26. And over here as well, 4 times x is 9.5 minus 3. You can just do 4 times 6.5. 6 fours are 24. 0.5 times 4 is 2. So 24 plus 2 is 26. The answer is equal. You must get because they both are congruent. And that is the final answer. Okay, it's 26 units because the measurement is not mentioned in any unit. Lastly, we have this problem here where we need to find u to x. That's the total length needs to be solved. First, let's equate 2 and solve the x value. 3x plus 1 equals 4x minus 6. How do you find for x? 3x goes to the other side. It will be 4x minus 3x minus 6 to the other side, 6 plus 1. 7 is equal to 4 minus 3 is 1, so 7 equals x. Now let's find one length and multiply it by 3, or you can add them all up and substitute x. That's lengthier. So what I would do is I just substitute x over here. 3 times 7 plus 1. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 1 is 22. Now I know each segment is x is, sorry, not x. Each segment is 22. So I'll just write over here 22. This is also equal, congruent, 22, 22. So you can directly do 22 times 3, that is 66. That is the total measure of u to x. So 66 is the final answer. 66 units. Very easy and simple topic. I hope you have understood this thoroughly. If you have any doubts or any questions, please post them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you very soon. In this video, we will learn how to find the length of a line segment on a number line. Here we have got a linear line and the dimensions are given. They have told PS is having 5.8 mm length and RS is 3.7. You need to find PR over here, the unknown distance. So the total length PS minus RS gives you PR. So it'll be 5.8 minus 3.7. That's it. It's very simple. You can just solve it up. It'll be 2.1 mm. It's very simple. Directly you can do it. You know, total length minus this smaller length. And over here, we have this length as 2.5 and this length as 2.8. You need to find the total length. Total length would be 2.5 plus 2.8. That would be for 5.3. That is the answer over there. And how do we do this? Here we know JK is given and KL is given. We have to find the total. Just add them up. It will be 1.1 centimeters here. So very straightforward problems over here. Please do it by yourselves. And same thing over here. You need to find H and J. So the total minus this 12.2 minus 3.1 would be the answer. About AC, it will be adding up them. It will be total 2. 1.6 plus 0.4 is 2. SV would be 4.1 minus 2.6. That would give us SV. Here are the answers. Just use your calculator and solve them. Over here we have 1/4. So you can make this from mixed to fractions, that is multiply 4 times 1, 4 plus 1, it will be 5 by 4, or 1/4 is 0.25, so you know it will be 1.25. Or if you're still confused in the exam, you can use it directly in the calculator. All you need to do is press the shift option and then the fractions. Now you can use mixed fractions. Here it's 1/4. And you need to find NQ, the total distance. So let's add it up with 1 plus 1 will give you 9/4, or that is 2.25. Now, if you want to know which is the correct answer, all you can do is again shift. We know answer is 2.25. Press shift and this symbol, write 2/1/4. So this would give us 9/4, or it is 2.25. Other problems are very straightforward. Just add them up or subtract them and find the line segments accordingly. Please do more problems, solve them by yourselves, and you'll be very thorough in this topic. In this video, we will learn how to interpret the solutions of system of linear equations. Here you can see there's a graph with many different equations. Equations are graphed into this. These are all linear equations because it's all straight lines. They're asking us to state whether these equations are consistent or inconsistent, and then if it is independent and dependent. First, you need to understand consistent means having solutions. Solutions are there. No solution means no, not inconsistent, not consistent. Now, if it is consistent, if you see a solution in a graph like this, then it will either be independent or dependent. How we know what is what exactly? Now, it is very simple. I will draw some figures. If you have two parallel lines, they are separate, they'll never touch each other. That means it's no solutions. Now, you have two lines which will intersect at a point. Then, this is consistent because it is having a solution, consistent, and this is independent. Now, how do you understand this is independent is because they will touch at one point and they'll never touch back. They'll go in their own ways. They're not dependent on each other. Only once they touch. Whereas imagine two lines are overlapping. They are the same lines. Okay, they're overlapping on each other. Then you have a solution. Every part is a solution. So it is consistent, but it is dependent on each other. Dependent. So whenever you have same equations, they are equivalent equations, they are same lines basically. So each point is a solution. Then there are infinite solutions. So that is consistent dependent. You need to memorize this. When they don't touch each other, there is no solution. When they touch only at one point, it's consistent and independent. And when they're overlapping, it's consistent and dependent. Now let's look at these two solutions, the equations. Y equals x minus 1. Where is that? That's over here. And minus x plus 1. Minus x plus 1 is over here. Let's look at this. This is over here and this is over here. They're touching at one point. The solution is over here, this point, and this is consistent, independent. Whereas the other equation, x minus y equals minus 4, this is the line, and y is equal to x plus 4. Y is equal to x plus 4. You can see they are both the same lines, right? They are the same lines. So they're overlapping on each other. So it is this part, consistent and dependent. So that is the solutions over here. And whenever there is consistent independent, you will have one solution. So it's consistent independent. Whereas consistent dependent will have infinite solutions, infinitely many. And over here now, let's look at these equations. X plus 4. Where is x plus 4? It's over here. And 2x minus 2y equals 2. Can you see these two? This is one equation which is already marked, and this is the other one. Now they are parallel to each other. They will never touch each other because they are going in the same slope. They will never touch. It is no solutions. There is zero solutions over there. It's no solution over here. What about this equation? We can see it as y is equal to 2x minus 3. This is the equation. And this one, they touch at this point. There is one solution and it is consistent, independent. It's no solution. Okay, if it's no solution, remember it is inconsistent. That is no solution. Now here was one. Now, what if the graphs are not given? If graphs are given, it's easy to see and tell, right? But if graphs are not given, then let's use our calculators. Let's do this first. I'll come to the other equations later on. If you go to mode phi, you can see there are plenty of equations. The last one is cubic. This is quadratic. Powers are there. We have to see the first or second. But here we do not have z term. It's only two terms. So it is the first option. When we click on first option, they will allow us to type in the coefficients. Now if you go back to mode phi, the first equation over here uses the standard form. If you write the standard form out, that is n is like this. We do not need to write n. I'll just write a x plus by equals c. N means 1, 1, 1. That is for the first equation. N for the second one is the second equation. So ignore that n. This is the standard form. Only equations in this form can be substituted. Now let's substitute this. It's already in the standard form. The coefficients are 4. Then we have minus 6 and then we have 12. That's 1 and 2. And over here we have minus 2, 3 and minus 6. So the answer over here is infinite solution. But majority of your calculators will not give you this directly. If you have the latest model, yes, you get infinite solution. You can just tell over here the answer is infinite solutions. So it is consistent and dependent. But what if your calculator doesn't show you this and just gives a math error? Then in such cases, you need to simplify these equations. Then in such a Then, in such cases, you need to simplify these equations. It's a very simple method. Look here. All you need to do is make these coefficients equal. It's just that this is 4. It's easier to multiply this minus 2 by minus 2 again. I will get positive 4, isn't it? It's easier to multiply rather than divide. I have to divide minus 2. It's fine. You can do anything. Let's solve it up. What I'll do is I'll leave this equation as it is and I'll just multiply minus 2 throughout the terms. I have to multiply here, here and here, and let's see what happens. I will get 4x. Yes, this is matching. Now let's see the other things. It'll be minus 6y equals plus 12. Now compare these two equations. What is happening? They are literally the same, right? That means it's the same equation overlapping on each other. So it is infinite solutions and it is consistent. That is how we get these answers. Now the first one over here is not in the standard form, but don't worry. Just write it in terms of ax plus by equals c. So what I'll do is I'll take this to the other side. It'll be negative half x plus y is equal to 0 and negative x plus y is equal to 2. Now you have to type these coefficient values in the calculator. It will be negative half. You can write 1 divided by 2, or you can write it as negative 0.5. It's fine. And 1 and 0. Over here it's minus 1, 1, 2. The answers are minus 4 and minus 2. We are not looking for the answers, but we are getting a solution. So there is one solution and it is independent and consistent. Say it's one solution, one set x and y, that is a coordinate point you get. They'll intersect at one particular point, x and y, that is the solution we get over here. That means one solution, it is consistent and independent. Similarly, please do solve the other problems. But when it comes to no solution, let me solve this up. The same thing, you need to use your calculator. I've typed in all the coefficients and when I press equal to, I get no solution. But if your calculator is giving you a math error, that's fine. We have to use the same procedure what we did just a while ago for the infinite solutions. Try to make these two terms equal, the coefficients equal. So I'll just multiply this entire term by 2. It's going to be 4x plus 6y equals 20. Now compare these both equations. The first terms are same, the second terms are same, but it's only these numbers that are different. That means if I graph them, they are having two different y-intercepts. They have same slope, but different y-intercept. They are parallel lines. That means they will never touch each other, so they are inconsistent and no solution. This is the reason. But if they are absolutely same, over here we got the same equations, then they have infinite solutions. They're consistent, dependent. But you almost everything is same, but the numbers do not match, then there are no solution. Similarly, please do the other problems by yourselves. And here are the answers. So that's the end of this topic. A simple topic, just be careful with the calculator. You need to get it in the standard form and then you need to solve it up. If you have any doubts, please post them in the comments. In this video, we will learn how to find points on a number line. Here we have a number line and they have told us find the coordinate point of B that is 1/4 the distance from M to J. They have given a point M and J and we need to find a point which is 1/4, that is quarter the distance of this total one. Now here it is very important to know which is the initial point and the final or the terminal point. Initial is where we start, M, to J, that is the terminal or the final point, ending point. That we will call it as x1 over here and this is x2. Now whenever you have a fraction, the fractional distance formula is given by A simple formula, x1, the initial point, plus, because it's after that, right? The ratio we can just write as AB, and then you have to just do x2 minus x1. This is the formula. This part is the ratio over here, okay? That's the ratio. Let's just substitute. 2 is x1, 2 plus 1/4, x2 is 18 minus 2, and now solve it up. You will get 16 here. 4 1 time, 4 4 times, 2 plus 4 is 6, and that is the answer. So if you want 1/4 the total distance, you should choose 6, point number 6. This is 1/4 the total distance of M to J. So the answer is 6. Same way you can try the others. Over here only changes this ratio and the points over here. The number line is the same, so you don't need to change. Just the ratio changes. 7 by 8. So it is 7 by 8 over here. 8 one time, it is 2 times. 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 2 is 16. So the answer will be 16 if the ratio is 7 by 8. Please do the others by yourselves. The same concept, same formula, only the ratio is changing. That's the formula over here. And the point D will be obtained at this formula. In this problem, if you see, we have got the ratio m is to n, not the fractional distance. Whenever you get like this 1 by 4, 3 by 9 or something like this, it's the fractional distance. Now we have been given ratios, and they have told find the coordinate point x such that the ratio of m to x, we don't know the point. I'll just take a random guess and put it over here. From m to x and to x to j, the ratio is 3 is to 1. So this one part is 3 times this. How would we do that? It's by a simple formula, n x1 plus m x2 divided by m plus n. Now, I personally sometimes get confused. I write mx1 plus nx2. Last year, I used to teach the grade 9 class, and I remember even my students used to do the same mistake last year. So please avoid that. Make sure you will use the formula correctly. It's n times x1. This is very important. Many times students do the confusion over here and they will write mx1 plus nx2. That will be wrong. So please remember, it's nx1. What is this m and n? M and n is the ratio. M is to n, right? N comes first with x1 plus m with x2 divided by m plus n. X1 over here is the initial point and the terminal point is x2. Now let's substitute all the values. The n value is 1, multiply it with the x1. x1 is 2 plus m is 3 multiplied with 18 and divided by m plus n, that is 3 plus 1. Over here 2 times 1 is 2 plus 18 times 3, it's 60 minus 6, that is 54. Divided by 4 and we get 56 by 2, that is 1 less than 15, 4, right? Sorry. It is 15 minus, it's 14. So the answer will be 14 over here. So you can see that's the answer. That's how we can solve these problems easily. Only thing is m and n value changes. The formula remains the same. Please try it out by yourselves and you can see the method is done over here. You just put this in the calculator because you might get decimal point and all. Directly in the calculator, formula calculator answer. That's the thing, even over here. Now, see the ratio is 1 is to 1, x to j. So now just imagine which is the midpoint over here. From 2 to 18, which would be the midpoint? Over here, from 2 to 10, it is 8 points. And then from here to here, it's 8. Mid value is at 10. So because 1 is to 1 means both are equally divided. You can even reason it and directly do it as well, whichever is convenient. Now over here we have the same concept, but just the number line is different. We need to find from G to E. So here, where is G exactly? So we need to find the point G from B to D. This is x1, D is x2. The formula remains the same. The ratio is, the fraction is given. Fractional distance. So A by B is over here. Just put this in the formula and solve it up as it is over here. Similarly, please try this. Now here the x1 and x2 changes. It's from C to F. So x1 is minus 4 and F is x2 is 5. Substitute it up and get the answer. Now here it's negative 2.2. Why? Because from year to year there are negative numbers, right? And 1/5 is just one part of fifths somewhere over here. Less than 2. Similarly, try these all problems and check the answers by yourselves. And the last one is over here. This is with fractional distance formula. Remember both the formulas, ratios and fractional distance. Another easy topic, if you just remember the formulas, this will be very, very easy. In this video, we will learn how to find points on a line in a coordinate plane given the ratio or the fractional distance. Here we can see there are lines over here and they have told to find a point D on line AB. See, this is the line AB. That is 3/4 the distance from A to B. So 3/4 means it's nearly close towards B point, somewhere over here, 3 parts. And over here, 3/4 means somewhere over here. Now, how do we find that? We will have to use the formulas which we learned in the previous question, the question number 13. But it's just that here there is x and y. x1, y1, the initial point. And the terminal point is B. So we write over here x2, y2. This is the only difference. We have to use the formula 2 times. Now what is the coordinate point over here? Let's count 1, 2, 3 towards the left, minus 3. Y is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is x1 minus 3, y1 is 5. What about this x2? x2 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and y2 is on the axis, so it's 0. Now let's write the formula. It is x1 plus a by b. I hope you remember this. We had done this just a while ago. This is for the x coordinate. What about the y coordinate? Same thing, but it'll be y1 plus a by b, y2 minus y1. Here the ratio is given, that is a by b. Now let's substitute. It's minus 3 plus 3/4 into x2 is here, that is 5 minus of minus 3. And here, what about this one? I'll substitute it directly. It's 5 plus 3/4, that is the ratio. Sorry, it's the fractional distance. And here y2 is 0 minus 5. Now let's solve it up. Here we'll have minus 3. This will be, you can just put it in the calculator and get the answer directly. It'll be plus 3, it'll be 8. It's 4 one time, 4 two times. It is 3 times 2 is 6 minus 3. It'll be positive 3. That is the x coordinate. So 1, 2, 3 somewhere over here now. Let's see we can easily guess this is the y. Now what about over here? It's 5 plus 3/4 of minus 5 by 2. It will be negative 15 by 4. Okay, so then we will add this up. 4 divided by 15 is 3 point, or less, it will be 75. It's minus 3.75. Over here we have 5. So subtract it. The answer will be 1.25. So you can see this is 1 and 1.25. Yes, that's correct. So this is the answer. This is the x value. That's the y value, which should be equal to. So this is how we solve whenever we get a fractional distance in coordinate plane. So that would be the answers. It's 3 and 5 by 4 is 1.25. If you do it in calculator, you'll get directly 5 by 4. You don't need to do all these steps. Only the substitution and then directly in calculators, you get the answers. Now, what about this one? I would highly encourage everyone, pause the video now, try this one by yourselves, because we have done the similar thing in the previous question, that is question number 13. Try it by yourself and then continue watching the video. I hope you have tried it, at least some of you have tried it. So here we have RS, that is this and this line. And we need to find a point Z such that the ratio is 1:3. So one part, RZ will be one part and this will be 3 parts, somewhere over there. Now, I hope you remember the formula. It is N. See, this is M:N. The second ratio is first and then x1 plus m into x2 by m plus n. This is for the x-axis. Now, what about the y-axis? The y coordinate. That will be same thing, but instead of x1, we have to write y1. And over here, it's y2 divided by m plus n. Now let's do the substitutions. It'll be 3 into x1. Let's see, it's minus 1 and 1. So x1 is minus 1, 1. What about s? It'll be 3, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, comma 2. So x is 7 and 2. So let's do x1 first. x1 is minus 1 plus. Now I have, oh yeah, I've written it correctly. I thought, okay, I was confused with the formula over here. It's m now, and x2 is 7 divided by m plus n will be 1 plus 3. Same thing over here, but all we do is this x1 and y1 is now with y1 and y2. Sorry, it's x1, x2. Over here we have y1, y2. It's 1 plus m is 1 times 2 divided by 1 plus 3. And now you can put this in calculator and get the answers directly. It'll be minus 3 plus 7 by 4. And over here we have 3 plus 2 by 4. So this is 7 minus 3, it's 4 by 4, that is 1, that is the x coordinate. And for y coordinate, we have 5 by 4, or that is equal to 1.25. Now let's see whether these are reasonable. 1 over here, yes, that is correct. It's about this. I assumed it was over here, this is wrong. 1 part, this much is 3 parts. And that is the answers. Let's just check the answers. Yes, that's the correct ones. Again, over here I have written in decimal, but you can write in fraction itself. Same thing, just the line changes here. Look, where is the line G and B? Sorry, A to G, A to B. A is over here, B the same one we had done before. Now we have to find a point G somewhere with the ratio of 3 is to 2. So same thing, the ratio is over here, only the x1, x2, and also the ratio is G. Here they have asked us to find a point G on the line AB. So here this is x1, x1, y1, x2, y2. And the ratio m is to n is given as 3 is to 2. Please do the same thing, just substitute in this formula and find it in the calculator. So here is the methods. And the last problem over here as well. It's just the line UE is used, this line, and the same procedure is carried out. Remember here U is the initial point, so this will be x1, y1, this will be x2, y2. And here you have the detailed solution. That's the end of this topic. The last two questions, that's the question number 13 and 14, are very similar. So please remember the formulas and use it to solve both of them. We are now in the last question of the part 1 exam scheme. This question is about linear inequalities and we have to graph them up. Here I will tell you an easy shortcut method. You don't need to bother any of the long methods, First thing, you must have the equations in the slope-intercept form. Y is equal to mx plus b. These both are in the slope-intercept form. That's well and good. Now, instead of the inequality, just think of this for a minute as y equal to 6, y equal x plus 3. Now, if you have a coordinate plane, y is equal to 6 means in the y-axis, this is 6, imagine that's 6, you draw a line over there, isn't it? That's the equation. And what about x plus 3? Y is equal to x plus 3, the intercept, this plus 3 is the y-intercept, it's somewhere over here, 3, and it's plus x, so it will be a positive slope, it will go up something like this. It's a rough graph, it's not accurate, but that's fine. And now over here, look here, it's less than and greater than. Whenever you have less than and greater than, in inequalities, you have to do dotted lines. So remember, your final answers must have dotted lines. That is fine. Over here, these are dotted lines. That's one more thing. If it was less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, it will be straight lines, whereas less than or greater than, it will be dotted lines. Yeah. Now, here just see for this equation, which was that first one, right? Y is less than. Can you see that it's less than? Touch a point over here. Less than means down. If it was greater than, you have to do an arrow upside. And what about this line? Y is greater than x plus 3. This is the x plus 3 line, isn't it? Touch a point, up over here. So that is greater than, isn't it? That's it. Now, which is the overlapping region? it's below this line and above this line. So all this is the solution region. So that is the answer. That's it. That's so simple. And now we can see over here the answer. See what we drew over here is same like this. This is y equals x, but it's less than. So this is the shaded region, and over here above this. Now look here, this is all dotted line. Why? Because it's only less than or greater than. So this is the solution region. You will have four graphs. Just select the correct graph easily looking into the given equations. Now even over here, let's see the answers. The four options, right? Y is greater than or equal to 0. So this is the line above this, everything above. And one more is y is less than or equal to x minus 5. Minus 5 is the intercept. Draw a line. It's below this. So touch these wherever they touch near over here. So this less than, this is greater than. So this is the solution region. And now, why are they straight lines? Because they are greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. Same way over here, they're all in slope intercept over here, so it's very easy. Y is less than or equal to x plus 10. Plus 10 is the intercept, that is above. Can you see this line? That is the over here line. And y is greater than 6x plus 2. Plus 2 is over here, that's the intercept. Look here. This line at 2 must be dotted. You can easily tell. And at 10, it must be a straight line. Why? Because it is less than or equal to. Less than is down. This is above, just upside. So this is the solution region. This is how we can easily graph the others as well. Please try the other ones. Now I will look at this one. Y is greater than or equal to x plus 10. Plus 10, this is over here. Greater than, above. And y is less than or equal to x minus 3. Less than this one, minus 3, down. So this is the solution for the second equation, and this is for the first equation. Is there any overlapping region? No, there is no overlapping region over here because the slopes are same. They are parallel lines. They will never touch each other, and there is no intercepting lines. Like it's not overlapping anyway. So there is no solution. There is no solution for this graph. So the answer is C. You can see it's no solution basically. And over here as well, please do it. And over here also we are getting no solution. You can see the slopes are same. The intercepts are different. And y is less than. Okay. Here you need to understand. This one you can easily tell it's down, it's up. But what if it's a straight line? There is no down and up. It's a vertical line. Then if y is less than, you take the left side. And y is greater than, you take the right side. Just remember this. If it's a flat line like this, up is positive, it's greater than. Y is greater than will be up. Y is less than will be down. Always down, decreasing is left or down, increasing is up or right. That's the answers over here. Now the second equation is not in the slope intercept form. What you can do is you can write this in the slope intercept. Take this minus y to the other side. It will become y here, it will be positive. 3x, take this 4 to the other side, plus 4. Now this is the solution over here, but you can write it like this: y less than 3x plus 4, and this is the equation. Now you can see here y is greater than or equal to 3x minus 5. This is minus 5 intercept, everything above it, and it's a straight line. Whereas this one was y is less than 3x plus 4. This is the 4 intercept, less than is down. This is the solution region. So that's how we tell it. Now intersection of the graph is this part. Same way, please try the other problems by yourselves. Okay, these are straight lines. I'll just do this as well quickly. Here we have x is greater than minus 1. Minus 1 is over here, greater than its dotted line. And greater than means it's towards the right. And y is less than or equal to minus 3 is down, less than or equal to, and it's a straight line. So all this shaded region is the solution region. That's how we do it. Over here, the intersection of these two graphs are the solution regions. Here as well, it would be straight lines, vertical and horizontal lines. See where they intersect. Since it's only greater than and less than, it's dotted lines over here. Here we have one flat line that is horizontal line and one equation, linear equation. Even this is linear line, but it's just that it doesn't have any x component, so it's just y equals minus 1. And over here, please try these very straightforward problems, just like how we have done before. Now here, what you need to do first is write it in slope-intercept form. It will be y less than or equal to minus x minus 1. Y is greater than or equal to minus 6 plus 3. Remember, when you have minus 6, the lines go downwards, sloping downwards. When we have positive x, it's upwards. And if it was less than or greater than, dotted lines. So basic things of graph. These are basic knowledge of graphing. Just implement it and you can easily figure out which is the solution. Slopes are same, but they are not overlapping because they are going upwards and downwards, and the middle region is no solution. And the last problem over here, similarly, you can solve it up. First, write it in the slope-intercept form. Here it will be y is greater than plus x plus 4. And over here, y is greater than minus x plus 2. So here, which is the minus x line? This one. And it should have an intercept at 2. Yes. One more at 4, correct? And it's increasing line. This is decreasing. And over here at 4, it's greater than. And over here also, it's greater than all above. So this is the overlapping region. That is the end of all the part 1 questions. I hope you have found all my videos helpful. If you have found them beneficial, please do share it with your friends and please do subscribe to my channel. That would mean so much to me. And I would highly encourage all of you to solve more and more problems by yourselves. And if you have any doubts, any queries, please do post them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you very, very soon. I wish you all the best for your exams. Happy learning to all of you.